Hi guys, it's me, Kat, Mrs. Handy, or you. Hope you're all doing really well today. Well, President Trump was on with Tucker Carlson, as you well know, and I missed a couple of things that he said that were DOA comms for himself. He talked about Fannie Lawyer, I should say, and he said Fani, and her lover Wade, and Fanny, I should say, is 30 in simple gematria. It equals Joe for Joseph Patrick Kennedy Jr., who died in the plane crash in World War One, and World War II, and he had taken over a huge amount of explosives and was likely going to be killed doing that to try to go after the German artillery encampments. So I think he was reincarnated into JFK Jr. So when he was born to Jackie and John, he was really President Kennedy's little brother. Older brother. Because Joseph Patrick was the first of the Kennedy brothers. So if he came back to life, he would be his uncle. His older brother, I should say, not uncle. Let's see. Fanny, like I said, was Joe. And then he says, but it never happened. They put a man into the Letitia James, saying that a man was playing Letitia James, the person against President Trump. They put a man into Letitia James, but it's never happened. So I'm not sure whether he means the court case never happened, most likely that's it, or putting the man in there never happened. He said that I'm even living is almost too hard to believe. Now that was a couple days before the election, around 11/1 or 11/2. But to hear him say that I'm even living is almost too hard to believe. That's a big deal. So he's not going to really DOA. He's not really going to go. It will certainly look like he is. Let's see. And then he said, so bad things happened. He's looking back like Project Bluebeam, I'm sure. And he also said during this little rant, I'm so bored stiff. He's waiting for the rocket to come down and be retrieved by Elon's retriever. It took 45 minutes and he had somebody waiting on hold 45 minutes. And anyway, I'm bored stiff, like a dead body, right? And then he said, are we watching a movie, like a science fiction movie? So he asked right then, are we watching a movie? And your head will spin when you see what's about to happen. Now moving on to Penguin 6, who I think is a Diana fractal with a mask and all that. I know a lot of you don't agree, but that's all right. We can agree to disagree. Penguin 6, this was on 11/14. He was at the D.C. White House Visitors Bureau Center. He showed a sewing machine which sewed the blackout curtains during World War II. And I've been thinking right along that when we have our fake war comms and alerts, that we're going to have to black out our windows and keep the lights down low, and it'll seem like, the enemy crafts are coming over us and might bomb us. So that'll be interesting. And even rationing, like rationing cards, that kind of stuff. And I think you usually go out rationing during the day because they can't see you as well at night. Let's see. So he's mentioning, this is Penguin 6 again. That is what's being built in front of the White House right now, the presidential viewing stand. And he's talking about, it's near the World War I memorial is where he's standing and looking out ahead. And the press stays too. We seem to have it to ourselves, the World War I memorial. No, there's other person, two other people. Actual sculpture was unveiled a month ago, three weeks ago. A soldier's battle sculptures. It's a man returns onto the final victory, and then the man comes back to his little sister, and he comes back a changed man. It's this man going through all his life in sculpture, the ups and downs and the emotions, and it's all captured in sculpture. And then he mentions the Willard Hotel, and makes me think of Ben and Michael Jackson. I know that's how you guys think too. And a lot of things about Michael Jackson lately, and I'm coming up to it too, because I know I saw Michael Jackson at a rally, and I think he's just disguised. And we've gotten comms from Michael Jackson from President Trump, the code to Michael Jackson. So that's pretty cool. And let's see. He said there was a peace convention that was tried to get started at the Willard Hotel, and in the final days before the Civil War, they tried to stop the battle. That was at Virginia's invitation. Virginia brought 21 of the 34 delegations, and they met in secret, and they met February 4th through February 27th, 1861. And they tried to hammer out a peace agreement. Penguin 6 turns and says, it just didn't work. Over there is the J.W. Marriott National Press Club, Press Liquors store. The stand behind being built is massive. It's made out of steel, cement, and bulletproof glass. I might be asked to film the protests, maybe a more interesting photo than the inauguration. We'll have to see. I see broken fountains, grass that's dying. It's very unkempt. And then he said, Andrew Jackson, and that always reminds me of Jackson. Normal day in Lafayette Park. Press gallery being built across from the viewing stand. So across the road, you have the press gallery. I don't know if it'll have bulletproof glass, but it's being built. Jackson Place was an interesting bunch of office buildings nearby, and Jackie Kennedy got the U.S. to buy the decrepit Jackson buildings and renovated them. So they'll be used. And then Penguin 6 says, I might need a second lunch. That reminds me of The Hobbit. Second breakfast, second lunch. Biden is gone till Thursday, he says. Congress is bailing out tonight. And all I could think of, every time I hear bailing out, I think forced to jump out of a plane. 716 townhouse for ex-presidents who want to stay. It's called Blair House. It's raining right now. I'm done. I don't know why it's raining. See you tomorrow. Bye. So that's kind of long, but that was Penguin 6. And he gave a lot of good info about the reviewing stands, and who knows what's going to happen there. Yeah, hard to know. there were some really cool comments on my last video I just did about Trump victory speech. You should go back and look at them. I mean, I didn't have time to go back and look at all of them, but these are people who communicate with me a lot, and they give me hints to help me figure things out, and they'll do the same for you. So you go back and look at what they said, use your name, let's see, decode a phrase that they used, or a repetitive word, or you know, all the capitals in the sentence. Well, here was one from John Sorrentino, and it sounds really like he's dissing me, but he's not. I knew it. He says, John Sorrentino says, has this lady ever been right about anything? And John Sorrentino in Jewish gematria equals, I am John Kennedy. So he signed it. I thought that was awesome. And John Sorrentino in simple gematria is 194, and that equals Underdog Projects. And that's the name of the creator of Gematrix.org, the database that I use is listed as Underdog Projects, which also equals I am John Kennedy. I had just talked about that a few days before I did this video to my friend Lisa. Hi, Lisa. So it's just too fun, you know. So a couple more things that match it is my fellow Americans, war preparations, blackout necessary. And then saying that phrase again, has this lady ever been right? And Jewish is 1777, and it equals, has this lady ever been right? God will confirm his messengers, communicating divine truth. The next comment was by Betty-Y, 5, the number 5. But I wrote it out, 5J. And Betty Y 5J equals Jewish 237. And it equals President John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Isn't that fun? I love this stuff. And then this one isn't quite as exciting, but I know it means stuff to me personally. I did all the caps in the next couple of sentences that he wrote. And it equaled Jewish 712, and it equals the sum of all fears, act of God, the 10th of October, which used to be my wedding date, Cary Grant, and I know I'm going to see Cary Grant. Hi, Cary. I know I'm going to see you, and you're going to be at a younger age, too. I just know it. So I put that out there to the universe to know that I really want that. And I want to see Michael Jackson and Diana. I want to see all you guys, even if this is just to say hello. But a question but would be so fun. Anyway. Let's see. Okay, so all the caps also equal in simple 71 equals my name and TOTH, which is the, I guess you'd say, mythical figure who wrote the Emerald Tablets, but I think he's real. And you can say it without the H too, the first H. So anyway, it equals hidden code, my name, and target, and I'm alive. Another channel member who hit the join button on my home page, her name's Susan V. Swider. Hi, Susan. Thanks for being a member. She said, God's blessings, Kathy, Jewish. 10,016. 10 Days of Darkness, Merry Christmas, Ground Zero, and then we have Easter Sunday, so I don't know. And then 208, Turn Off the Lights, Do You Miss Me Yet? Fake Deaths of Celebrities. Definitely a lot of that going on. So Susan V. Swider in Simple is I Am Jesus Christ. Real Donald Trump. The Royal Secret. Code Name to Remember. And Trust the Plan. So anyway, I only did a handful of the comments because it takes a long time. And I just hope you guys will take a peek at these and at least decode their name and see who's been talking to us, because it's really fun. I think it's really fun. It's been going on a long time, and I only recently started telling you about it because I thought it might get too confusing. But you guys are smart, so you can do it. So there was this little channel I think I mentioned called Tony Walker, and he has this deep British accent. He reads stories, and he also has now detective stories. So he's got 2 channels. So he has Victorian ghost stories and the new detective stories. And I highly recommend it. It's wonderful. So I read this section from a members only post because I'm a member for a little bit a month. So I get to see the members only posting. Most of them are, free. Anyway, the story was called The Man in the Bottle. The Man in the Bottle equals Simple 291. Mary Magdalene revealed. Appears to be a public humiliation and execution. And that's what's going to happen to the cabal and at least Diana, if not the others, our 4 witnesses. Public humiliation and execution. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and then right after this, I rewatched A Midsummer Murder. I know a lot of you watch that the same as I do, and I rewatched them. A Midsummer Murder, and in the episode called Dark Rider, I think it was season 14, episode 1. There was a character in there. She was married to one of the hoity-toities. I don't know how to say it. She was, anyway, 2 times in a row. And I have mentioned this before, so it probably sounds familiar. 2 times in a row, she said she had no sons. So the character named Diana had no sons, and it was going to screw up inheritance and family line. So I thought that was interesting because I've got a feeling that the 2 boys that they say are their sons have just been planted there, like under a cabbage leaf or something, and she pretended to have a baby, and men aren't in there when they have their babies. And we'll see if they're really hers. Be really messed up, huh? So the meat of this show is right here. I think I found a Michael Jackson, I call them fractals now. Okay, like I think I know I've seen him in a fat suit with another man, or maybe it was 2 men, I don't know, after a Trump rally, kind of bouncing out because you were all jiggly. But this one, to me, was like obvious. So I think I found a Michael Jackson fractal. And I was watching live Karine, Karine, Jean-Pierre. And she's the White House press secretary for the Biden, which will go on for another couple of months till the transition happens. So all the reporters were out there and they were ready to get their questions answered. And half the time she listens and half the time she half answers. So I decided to try, I wasn't planning on it, I decided to try in gematrix.org, is Catherine MJ? So I went through it and I said, simple, 109. 109. Definitely, what a comeback. You are the hidden sun. 17. So that seems pretty obvious to me. She was just on live and said what do you call it? Karine was just on live when I was doing this press conference, and she said several times, "What we have done here, it's simple. 190, master of disguise." And she said, so every time she said that, she repeated herself. Yeah, master of disguise, master of disguise, master of disguise. Then I decided to try, is Catherine-E-Michaud Jackson. That's Jewish, 114. LOL, that was my birthday. So 11/14 was my birthday, which was kind of fun. And it also equals remember who you are. Like, are you Michael Jackson? Are you someone else? Jacksonville Jaguars matches. So we have Jackson in that name of the sports team. Do you want something in life? Reach out and grab it. And Karine just said, I'm not going to like another broken record. So Karine is the first openly Black LGBTQ and other letters person to serve as press secretary. And she's from Fort, with an E on the end, de France, and it's simple 120 equals gematria codes, doppelganger, the living dead, doppelganger, immortals, living legend, set on fire. I remember during, I don't know if it's during COVID or what, but there was a Pepsi commercial that was being filmed, and his hair caught on fire from fireworks, and they got it out right away. So could that be why that was in there? Yeah, remember his hair, MJ's hair caught on fire. And you may remember, I've said that Jackie Kennedy likely played Michael Jackson from the album Bad Onwards. Remember the music by MJ called Black or White? The faces morphed into the other, front white, black, white, Indian, etc. Then the whole story about his skin disease that turned his skin white. And I don't think that was really happening. I think it was just that slow transition to make him look more white so he wouldn't have to wear less makeup for when he came back to Michael Jackson. And he had that terrible skin disease that had some name that made his body turn in white in areas. And then he had that plastic surgery which changed the size of his nose. And and who knows why that happened. So to blend in more with up and coming singers, or what? Give me your opinion. Okay, so I think you're really gonna like this. I really do. I hope you stay long enough to get through this, because it's quite interesting. So before Election Day, just before, so I saw it in my YouTube feed, and you know, not just anything will pop up on your YouTube feed. They do try to get it to be something you would like to watch. And so 3 days before the election was going to happen, yeah. Okay, so what popped up on my screen was, on my YouTube feed, was Jackie Gleason on the Johnny Carson show. His only appearance on the Johnny Carson show. That's a long time. It was 39 years, I think. I'll double check. So Johnny said, say one, how sweet it is, and you'll get on with it. Well, how sweet it is equals simple 132, Diana Frances Spencer, and a storm is coming. So at that moment in time, Diana could have been playing Jackie Gleason. And then Johnny says, you did 39 episodes. 39 is in Jewish gematria, eats forbidden fruit. 142, 39. I am Mary Magdalene. Decode, stay home. Terrorist, Christmas Eve. Curl up in a ball, January 6th. The sum of all fears, Houston, Texas. The end times is a hoax. So there's a lot of intense stuff there. If anywhere near that timing is right, it's pretty intense. So I'd like to be ready as I could ever be. And he said, I think around 1951, we started it. Only did 39 episodes. 39. And that's I Am Mary Magdalene again. And now you have a whole new generation of fans. It must give you a great kick. He said, Johnny, and a big hit, a big hit. And it's been doing this show 23 years. Had you ever... Oh, I lost a page. Well, anyway, when I see 23, I reverse it to 32, which is Eve. And 33 also equals scare event necessary, make America great again, EBS tomorrow, I already said that, Battle of Armageddon, which will be fake, just like in Ukraine. I don't understand it, John. I was waiting to figure out of all this out. I was waiting to figure out if this show was a hit. You didn't want to commit to going on to Johnny Carson until you realized it was going to work. You're out here doing a picture with a young Tom Hanks, right? And he is a fine actor, a great actor. Let me tell you, friend, bacon is here, but book is filled with, for the lack of a better word, pranks, escapades, and evenings out. They considered him a bad companion for me. Johnny, you did a television show in 1961. Oh, I stuck. Went on with one time did a television show in 1961, went on one time and called You're in the Picture. It was a different show. Johnny, I was also one of the part of this show. So he sat up in a stand with his head through the hole, and so did other famous people, and you had to put the puzzle together from the other side. Johnny is part of our movie. He's also alive and here now. He's in a Clouseau video. You sat in the right of the stage and you had your little coffee cup, and the idea of the show was the television audience could and the television audience could, if this, see a picture of celebrities would come, and we'd put our heads through a hole from the picture in the back. We didn't know what the picture was. Jackie, good. And Johnny says, yeah, I was one of those people. It really did not go too well. You did one of the funniest half hours of television, Johnny said. You just sat down and apologized. I came out and apologized to the audience for coming to see such a terrible crime. This was the biggest bomb ever put on television. All four will apologize, this is my opinion, for the Garden of Eden and the cross at some point. I think it's probably going to be in the Oval Office with dim lighting and veils on everybody. And when I went to the executives of CVS, I said, I got to go on this week and apologize. They said, we don't allow anyone to go apologize. They said, we want to go and apologize for anything we put on a fake. Well, this week you're going to do it. Let's talk about the honeymooners a little bit. You did 39, here's that number again, which equals I Am Mary Magdalene. They wanted you to do another season, but you were running, Jackie, low of ideas. And I like the honeymooners. Yeah. So I like the honeymooners. I didn't want to denigrate them by forcing scenes that didn't mean anything, so I wanted to quit. And I'm so glad I did. That I didn't mean anything. So I wanted to quit. I'm glad to say, I'm glad I did stay. I wanted to quit. I'm glad I did stay then, because what we had done was good, and if we had gone away further, if we had gone away further, we might have spoiled it. Johnny, all the characters you do, from Ralph Cramden to Joe the bartender to the poor soul, really came to your early life in Hollywood. Well, yes, the honeymooners especially. There were 1,000 Nortons and 1,000 Kramers, and Reggie and I did a business, a burlesque, and I did the poor soul on Broadway. They fit in pretty good on television. Which of those characters is closest to Jackie Gleason? Which one do you most identify with? I guess I'd have to say Reggie. Johnny says, it was horrible. 6 minutes and Jackie is absolute boredom. On our Showtime one time, the curtain got stuck. I fixed it. On our show one night, the curtain got stuck. My old account killed the people. Turn 18 club. If you weren't all allowed to act also on act, it would be all ad lib like this. The stars would come in. We'd make the stairs. Funny them. It was a hot seat there. Help. Didn't you want to hustle pool? Jackie, I was in the grammar school. I started out, I was a rat boy. On a graduation day, we got those little gold pens. Johnny, on graduation day, did you do the Little Red Riding Hood in Yiddish accent? You did your research, he said. Did your research, what we do? I'm not advocating that everyone should drink, but it just worked for me. I hated to rehearse, and I had to handstand who was, and I wanted to, and that's enough. So Brandy made a good comment on that same video. Hi, Brandy. And Brandy, it said via Il Donaldo Trumpo, and it's simple. It's 221, and it's the code November 11th, which is passed, so I don't know. Yesterday, I posted on comments that World War III may begin on 11/24. That mirror of World War I ending same day, 11/11/18. Donald Event Horizon matches, like we'll look back on it and go, wow, that's when he DEAD. December 23rd. And it matches, I think we're alone now, scare event necessary. So when it looks like that end is near, it's not near. Another match that I got from that same comment was, I totally understand, and December 21st, U.S. monetary collapse. So who knows, it could be the reset then. I don't know, can you tell? I just don't know. There's so many vaguenesses to everything I say, because I don't like to be wrong, but one of these days, in among this big bunch of dates, something will be right, I think. You never know. You never know. So that was a long one. I hope I didn't bore you. And anybody have any questions, leave it in the comments. I'll try to get back to you with a good answer. And try to have patience with each other. I know it's been a really long haul. Been a really long haul for a lot of people. But, you know, just try to focus on other things and think about happy things. Even if you, like I do sometimes, break a favorite plate or something like that. Try not to get upset about it. And let's just move on. Let's not bring the vibration down. Let's go up on the vibration, you know? That's how we'll get there. So, anyway, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay warm. And I love you guys. And don't forget to comment if you have a question. Love you. Bye.